Tacit approval is why you're poor. Does everybody understand what tacit approval is? Well, why have you lived your life under tacit approval? Tacit approval is, this guy's talking shit. You know he's talking shit. You know he's talking shit, but you don't say anything. The worst case is, and you nod your head as if to agree. It's even worse when you have somebody of high authority like myself. That's why I step into the breach. Because I don't want to be, you've lived your life with tacit approval. You haven't had the balls to open your mouth when somebody's talking to you. And your excuse will be, I'm going to get fired. Well, you can't get fired now unless you get caught fucking a donkey in the lobby. You cannot get fired in corporate world anymore. It's almost impossible. So don't use that as a fucking excuse why you agree or let the boss talk shit or let the boss bully you. You have no balls. That thing about we fucked it up and he walked, remember, we fucked it up. We have nobody that steps into the breach anymore. If you're going to continue to allow tacit approval to rule your life, you're going to fail at this. And then you're going to go on Reddit and you're going to say, this fucking thing doesn't work. It didn't work for you because you're a cunt. The only way the QLA doesn't work is if your whole body looks like a vagina. A lot of things, most of which is true, but lack of enthusiasm has never been one of them. Lack of enthusiasm. I mean, enthusiasm gets you a long goddamn way. Why do you think they jack up sports teams? Get all for the same reason. I mean, again, I had no idea that nobody had any self-esteem. I didn't realize it was such a rare motherfucking commodity. All groups, including the meatheads on YouTube, have little or no self-esteem, little or no self-confidence, little or no self-worth. But you're fortunate. 98% of the people on the planet are introverts like you. Only 2% are extroverts like me, and only 10% of that 2% are loudmouth alpha males like me. But 98% of all the high-performance people in the world are introverts just like you. Zuckerberg, Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates. You're all introverts. And I just named 4 of the most successful people in the last 50 years, right? Most of the kids can't even get a job. But the reason why they can't get a job is because they got none of these. They got no balls. It's really a strange conundrum, as they say. Him, this fucking moron here, he comes in with a presentation and he tells me how he's different. You know how many fucking times I've heard that? Everybody in this room arguably thinks something about him's different. Well, I'm here to tell you nothing about you is different. I'm just telling you. Oh, you wasted your money. You won't. You can't. Your DNA is not wired that way. For all the hours you cocksuckers fill the gym up, why are you all skinny pencil neck fucking geeks? How can you spend 3 hours a day in the gym and look like a fucking pencil neck geek? Because you're pretending to lift weights in the gym just as you're pretending to be fucking successful or wannabes. That's the best fucking metaphor I have. And down deep inside, you know it. Oh, he's not talking about me. Not me, boss, not me. You're bigger than a cunt. Whatever's worse than a cunt. And when I say cunt, I mean coward. Just so everybody gets that straight. When I call you a vagina, you're a bigger coward than a cunt. The more that you stop playing not to lose and you start playing to win, the more ruthless you get. You realize how easy it is. I see speed bumps, you're gonna think it's a Grand Canyon or fucking Mount Everest, and it's just a fucking speed bump. That's an understatement of biblical proportion. If you're gonna run a 7-hour marathon, you ought to kill yourself, metaphorically speaking, of course. And they say they're doing it for the experience. What positive repercussions can a 7-hour marathon possibly have? Unless you weighed 9,000 pounds and you lost 8,400 pounds or 500. Other than that, what possible positive impact can a 7-hour motherfucking marathon have on you? That's a brisk walk. And now, I mean, the kids, it's unbelievable to me that your standards are so fucking low. I know guys that never ran a foot. They can run a 4-hour marathon today, without any practice. You almost die at the end, but you've never pushed yourself. If you have 10 possible answers, and the 10th is the hardest answer for you emotionally, that's the right answer. Life is where you are now. And how's this fucking program worked out for you, old timer? Not worth a shit. Everybody's got an opinion. See, I don't believe everybody has the right to have an opinion. If Allah, Buddha, and Jesus Christ himself came down and touched those poor little fuckers, they're dead meat. I'm not saying they invented fucking guilt, but I've heard the motherfucking story. 6,000 years we roamed the fucking desert. 6,000, I'm so fucking tired of that Jewish story, I want to throw up. And we're surrounded by Arab countries, and we're all by ourselves, and we got to build a fucking wall. So what? The Arabs on the other side say, because I've been partners with them, Dan, there's a reason why the fucking Jews have no oil and gas. Allah's will. There's a fucking reason. Those are all fucking statistics. He says, when it happens to you, it's 100%. And even though the odds are great, way against you fucking this up, you'll find a way. Because you're so used to engaging in self-sabotaging. Does everybody understand self-sabotaging activities? Recipes for disaster. So your default is failure. Do you get it? And guess what? You fail, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. There is no backup plan. They have none. Now just think through, just real quickly. If everybody that you ever talk to, especially you, lard ass, Asians, it's hard because the family is, and Hispanics, the family is part of your social culture. And that's why you're fucked, because your social culture's fucked. Default is a motherfucker. At least you found out after 20 grand, it ain't for me. Fine. Do us both a fucking favor. Leave now. But don't keep asking stupid fucking questions. I'm not gonna tolerate it. Especially when I know it adds no value. All it does is reinforce the insecurities in the rest of you weak cunts. That's all it does. Because some of you are held in higher regard than others. Wrongfully. Because you have a bullshit about this or this, and you made a few bucks or you have some employees. They hold you in high regard for the wrong reasons. And then when he says it or she says it, and then you hear him, fuck, that's why I step up and say, fuck, that's bullshit. Everybody understand what that means? You're jerking off your brain. Tacit approval is why you're poor. Does everybody understand what tacit approval is? Well, why have you lived your life under tacit approval? Tacit approval is, this guy's talking shit. You know he's talking shit. You know he's talking shit, but you don't say anything. The worst case is, and you nod your head as if to agree. Now he goes off to tell, Doofus and Rufus agreed with me. And Doofus and Rufus say, well, fuck, Rufus didn't say anything. And then you go off to your different meetings and say, well, fuck, it must be okay. It's even worse when you have somebody of high authority like myself. That's why I step into the breach. Because I don't want to be, you've lived your life with tacit approval. You haven't had the balls to open your mouth when somebody's talking to you. And your excuse will be, I'm going to get fired. Well, you can't get fired now unless you get caught fucking a donkey in the lobby. You cannot get fired in corporate world anymore. It's almost impossible. So don't use that as a fucking excuse why you agree or let the boss talk shit or let the boss bully you. You have no balls. That thing about we fucked it up and he walked, remember, we fucked it up. We have nobody that steps into the breach anymore. If you're going to continue to allow tacit approval to rule your life, you're going to fail at this. And then you're going to go on Reddit and you're going to say, this fucking thing doesn't work. It didn't work for you because you're a cunt. The only way the QLA doesn't work is if your whole body looks like a vagina. That's it. If you can't get rid of tacit approval in your life, you're gonna fucking fail at this. Guys, I'm telling you, don't be right. Just do me the favor. Don't go to fucking Reddit and say it doesn't work just because you're a fucking weenie that can't get it in a hole. Be a man for the first time in your life. Belly up to the bars. I fucked up because I'm a cunt. I didn't want it bad enough. Did you hear her talk about sacrifices? Yo, Skip, you didn't ask one question about that. Okay, what, you fucking moron? Asses. Who gives a shit? Guys, why do you watch Jacko? Because you got no balls. He's got a new thing now for Monday mornings where he's got a brick wall that he runs into and charges into and breaks it down. Have you seen that? I'm going to do one, Jocko, just like you. 74, I'm going to break a bigger fucking wall down than you broke down. It's like when you get these little they break these boards. I could break the board with my dick in the morning. That's the fucking truth. I still pole vault out of bed at 74. I don't have to take steps to take a pee. I just kept a couple of pole vaults. Whoop, whoop, and I'm there. And you can't even get it up. 74 years old. We ought to put that on. I bet you that'd be viral for sure, wouldn't it? It'd go fucking viral, right? But once she says, your place or mine, Doc, that's it. So I must be at the top of my game. All the rest is bullshit. Don't worry about all that shit. Pavlov was right. The Russian scientist that did shock therapy, etc. Unfortunately, fear works and love doesn't. Why? Most of you had bicycles, little trainer bikes, One day your mom decided to take the trainer wheels off, or your dad, right? And what happened? You fell over on your big fucking melon head, right? And what happened? Your mom came running over to you, right? My poor baby, and they put the trainer fucking wheels back on. When does he say is the time to treat the dogs and show affection? When they do something positive. Your mother treated you good whether you did something positive or not, and that's why you're fucked up. We're pack animals just like the fucking dogs, you fucking creeps. My kids have to make an appointment to talk to me. Does that sound like how you were raised? What expectation bar was set for you, shitbags? Nothing. Because you had shitty role models and your parents fucked you. Because that's how fucked you are. You're no less fucked than the people that fuck you in the ass if you had been fucked in the ass by your brother or your dad. You're no less fucked up. How is that fucking possible? Don't tell me the obvious. So whenever my dad was accused of being too harsh on me, and he was a harsh son of a bitch, there's no question about that. He would say, well, how's your fucking program working out? And then he'd turn to his older brother and say, well, how's your program working out with your crack, heroin addict, whore daughter? And then he'd turn to his sister and say something to the effect that, how is your program working out with your incarcerated, convicted felon son? Now see, you would never say that to your brother and sister if you lived a million fucking years, even if it were true. You would never, ever, ever, because down deep inside you still want your brother and sister to like you and arguably love you. And then the guy's all happy. What a fucking joke that is. You're pregnant, you fat bitch, not me, you. And he starts screaming at her, God damn it, they're repossessing my car. We're 2 months behind on our apartment rent and you're gonna have a fucking kid? Well, shit, the kid heard that. I don't even have to ask which one of the fucking parents it was. Only the woman's stupid enough to keep the fucking kid. And if it didn't come out hanging from a fucking cord, they wouldn't keep it either. And that umbilical cord never goes away. Right, moms? It never goes away.